And now, another edition of What's Wrong with Illustrator? Actually, there's nothing wrong with Illustrator. The problem is you. You don't know what you're doing. Let's fix that.
I cannot paint a beautiful picture like this Matisse. I use the paintbrush. I have the red color, but the colors will not blend.
Well, first of all, you're not Matisse. Second of all, Illustrator is a shape program, not a painting program. If you want a painting program, you can use Photoshop or another program. Illustrator works with shapes. In this example, the shapes make the form of the figure. We cannot blend colors easily with Illustrator. The shapes can become more and more complicated. No matter how far we zoom in, we never pixelate. That's because Illustrator works in shapes.
I cannot crop the original painting. I can squish it or turn it, but I cannot crop it.
That's right. You can't crop images in Illustrator. Use Photoshop to make a crop.
I can't make a good face. When I try drawing, it's too hard to make the mouse work and my face looks bad.
Don't try to draw with Illustrator. Use shapes. Just make your shapes. Then select them and fill them in whatever color you like. Looks like you're making a red boy. With blue eyes. Good job. He's great.
Every time I try to use this eraser, it makes these weird shapes. It doesn't work at all. Why is this eraser so stupid? Look at that big hole in his mouth. I'm just trying to make him happy.
First of all, calm down. Second of all, Illustrator is a shape program. You can select the shapes and just delete them. Then, you can make a new shape with the pen tool or another tool. He looks kinda like Jack Nicholson just told a joke. Isn't that great?
I'm trying to figure out how to make this thing type down, like an Asian language. There must be some way to type down.
That's right. You can type all sorts of ways in Illustrator. Click and hold on the type button. You can also type in circles, like the Starbucks logo. You can also type in a specific spot. You can also type into a shape. And if the type is too long, just double-click the plus button. Now you're typing professionally. You should go write a novel.
Oh, I've been waiting for 10 minutes for Illustrator to open on my Mac.
Actually, Illustrator is open on your Mac. It doesn't have a window like a lot of other programs do. You have to either open or create a new file.
Gradients suck!
Actually, they do kinda suck. But you'll get used to them. You click that button, maybe you don't like that. so you can actually choose with the gradient tool different kinds of gradients. And with the gradient editor, you can move it, resize it, rotate it if you need, change the color using the palette, or the swatches. You can even make your own swatches. And add your own colors to them. It's a racquetball. How pretty.
There must be some way to stop having to copy and paste and try to guess if these are in the right spot for a flower or a pinwheel type of effect.
Command C, Command Shift D, move, rotate. You guessed it, bucko. There's a much better way. R for rotate, set your center point, hold down Option while you're rotating. Makes a copy. Then Command D repeats that. How lovely. And don't forget to use your blinker when turning corners.
All day long, I've been clicking buttons to rotate, scale, and reflect my Pac-Man shaped heptagon. It's getting very old.
Actually, there are keyboard shortcuts for all of those. R for rotate, S for scale, and you can scale by any center just by clicking. And O to reflect. Hold down Shift and you reflect in 45 or 90-degree angles, depending on the settings in your preferences.
Oh, I cannot wrap my head around 3D.
Actually, no one understands 3D in Illustrator, but let me show you a few cool things. Take your objects, group them together, Command G, Effect, 3D, and Rotate. Turn on Preview. And it's not perfect 3D, but it's not too bad either. Also, watch this. Draw a shape. It can even be just the outline. 3D, revolve. Look, you have a beautiful vase. Change to any color you like, and you will be the marvel of many nations.
I was so excited for Illustrator CC's new rounding corners tool with the letter A and the direct selection tool. But I can only round all the corners at one time. This blows!
Actually, you can round just one corner at a time. Just click the corner you want with the direct select tool, and you can round it. It makes 2 points out of 1 point. And if you want to go back, just drag it right back, and it will make that 1 point again.
I'm very proud of the face I made, and I even grouped them all together, so that it all moves together. but I can only move the whole face at one time. I cannot move little pieces of the face.
Actually, you can. With the Select tool, that's the black arrow or the letter V, you could move the whole object. But with the Direct Select tool, the letter A, you can move individual points.
I love that other guy's head, but it's too squarish for me.
Actually, you can make it as round as you want. With the Anchor Point tool, or Shift-C, you can grab the points and make them round. Follow the direction you drew the curve in. You can also take a round point and make it square, just by clicking on it. And in Illustrator CC, they added this thing that looks like an old-fashioned telephone. That's for taking one side of the point and stretching it way out. I don't like it, but maybe you will. You can also take one handle or the other of the point and drag it so that they go different directions. Or you can delete one altogether so that part is straight and part is round.
I suck at the pen tool.
Of course you do. Everyone sucks at the pen tool when they start. Let me give you a couple tips. If you click without dragging, you get straight lines. But if you click and drag, you get curved lines. Let's draw this figure. If it bothers you that it's filling in, you can always change that. Just stop midway. Then press P again for pen tool and keep going, right where you left off. Then take the object, fill it in with the color of your choice, or use the eyedropper and use an existing color. You can also practice your Bezier curves at bezier.method.ac. It's a fun way to practice, and it gets harder and harder. Stay inside the lines, just like that classic game of Operation.
I still can't think of anything cool to do.
That's okay. Just follow the link below, and you will see amazing vector art. All kinds of inspiration for you to try from.
There must be some way to cut real holes in this Swiss cheese so that objects can actually appear behind it.
There is! You can select all of the objects and choose Make a Compound Path. In fact, there are many ways you can combine objects. You can use the Pathfinder and just experiment on your own.
I have many objects on the screen and I can't find them. I figured out that if I hover, that a little square appears and that's an object, but I can't find all my objects. This blows.
There are many solutions. You can select all with Command A, or you can drag till you find some objects or the objects that you want. You can also click the Target Select. It will select anything on that layer or sublayers. If you want, you can color them. They are not showing because there is neither fill nor stroke. You can turn on strokes and you can turn on fills. You can change the size of your strokes. Isn't that better?
You mean I have to shift click every time to drag all the objects?
Actually, no. You can click and drag around all of the objects. You can even group them together with Command G, or ungroup them with Command Shift G. It's easy, fun, and makes you feel great.
I still suck at Illustrator.
That's okay. Head on over to Think Illustrator on YouTube. This guy will set you right. Tons of videos and tutorials that will help you out. Signing off. This has been another episode of What's Wrong with Illustrator? And remember, there's nothing wrong with Illustrator. The problem is you. You don't know what you're doing, and we're here to fix that.